just because I saw a lot of other teachers doing tons of private lessons and they were just there all the time. And I was like, I would actually like to have a life.
Hello and welcome to the Piano Teaching Success Podcast. I'm Gillian.
And I'm Paul, and I got home from MTNA, but oh gosh, I had a great time. And when I'm overseas, I love to go and see some of our accredited group piano teachers. I got to go to LA and to Santa Monica to see Kate and see, she's looking at some new premises and it's very exciting. And then I got to go to Sacramento and see Andrea in Sacramento. I had to drive the biggest car you've ever seen on the wrong side of the road. It was very scary.
I think there was a time there you ended up on the wrong side of the road, didn't you? It was a bit of a drama.
Don't tell anyone. Thankfully, it was on a side road. But today we've got an interview with Caelyn, who is from Milwaukee, who I got to see at MTNA as well.
Yes. This time last year, Caelyn was considering, actually signed up to Group Piano University, and she got going with her first classes in about June or July. So she's really only been going for about 9 months. She's just grown so amazingly in her studio, and she's done it in such a way that student-wise, I think she's roughly the same, perhaps a bit more. Maybe I think she's got 60
she's got
instead of 50.
she's got 40% more. She's gone to 70 students.
70, yes, but she's only got 20 students left. So she had 50 students in private, and now she only has 20 students in private and 50 students in groups. No. And she says she's got so much more time, she's sort of deciding what to do with it. Which is amazing. So excited. And she's actually on the lookout now for some premises, because now she's built so well, she's got the confidence in her teaching, and she's got the confidence that she can grow, and now she's looking for her own premises somewhere else.
Well, let's hear this interview with you and Caelyn.
Well, welcome, Caelyn, to Piano Teaching Success Podcast. Lovely to have you with us. And I was just thinking this morning, it's not even a year since that you completed Group Piano University. I think this time of last year you were actually thinking about it. And then you finished your training in June. If I take you back to a year ago, where were you at in your career and what were your goals? And just tell us your headspace and where it was at like a year ago.
I was looking at a lot of just different curriculums and stuff, and I knew I wanted to do not all private lessons just because I saw a lot of other teachers doing tons of private lessons and they were just there all the time, and I was like, I would actually like to have a life. So I decided I didn't want to do all one-on-ones, so I started toying around with doing toddlers together and then just doing 2 at the same time. So that started cutting down on some. And then at MTNA, I met Paul. I had looked at other group curriculums, but they didn't really have the students to back it up, and they weren't as tested. So when I saw he had his 3-month-olds together or 6-month-olds together, and then when they were graduating, they were still together, that was super cool. And the fact that they were actually playing really well. The other group curriculums I had looked at were they either were lacked in a lot of technique, or they were graduating and they still couldn't read the notes for some reason. And so I was I was like, okay, so I was gonna do something and I decided to do that.
So let's just go back to where you are in your life story. So you moved to the area you're in now. You're in Wisconsin.
Yeah. And then I went to college. It's called Maranatha Baptist University, super tiny school. And then one of my professors used to teach in the conservatory I'm at now, so we rent space as private contractors. So when I graduated in December of 23, I started here in January of 24. Started with 5 students, all from my church, and it just kind of went from there. So.
Yeah, and then a year ago you built that up fairly quickly to 50 students, isn't it?
Yeah, I worked 2 jobs until I worked at a shoe store until about August of that year, and then it got to be full-time enough, and then this last April, a year ago, I was able to move out on my own, and my studio supported that. So
that's fantastic. And so cycle forward, I think you said you had 50 students and a couple were in pairs, is that right?
Yeah.
So you had kind of dipped your toe in the water because you could see that the whole scaling, utilizing more time or freeing up some more time was a good idea. Yeah.
And then I think realizing at some point, like, musicians are business owners, it kind of, I started diving more into like the business side and realizing just what all you can do. So,
Yeah. You know, I really love this about your age group, the 20 somethings and the 30 somethings, even. You guys have grown up in I call you almost the Insta generation. Like you've grown up with the very entrepreneurial, a group, I think, comparative to others, and what's possible. I think you see on social media what others are doing and think, well, why not be? Do you think that's true?
yeah. And I think a lot of people my age like supporting like the smaller businesses, so it makes it a lot easier to have a small business as well.
Yeah, they don't want to be in the mass market. They kind of want something a little bit more bespoke and support others. Do you think? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, and the idea of scaling is appealing rather than terrifying.
Yeah. No, I want to scale. Yeah.
We're going to share some of those plans for scaling in a bit soon too, because they're pretty exciting. So, all right. So, cycle forward a year, or not even a year. You started in June, and now can you tell us where you're at?
I'm about 70 students. I have 20 to 30 that are still private. I didn't, kick them out or anything, but I was like, if they decide not to continue, I'm not going to replace them with private. So rather than just like a hard, we're starting all groups, it's just kind of a slow filter. My groups run anywhere from 2 to 6, depending on my space and depending on who's available when.
Yeah,
So.
and we're going to have a look at your space soon too, because it's quite a small space where you're at, which is where you're at. Like, I want a bigger space. and so, actually, can we do a little quick run around the room now, just to show everybody? And then it's going to be super quick.
So I have a piano and 4 keyboards. There's not much storage space. All I have is a shelf up above. I hide things under the pianos, next to their feet, in the corners, and anywhere things will fit.
And late last year, I think you were kind of interested in expanding and wanting to get your own space, and you almost snaffled one.
Yeah, it was close. I had looked at a space that was ideal location. It was like perfect spot for me in a cute little downtown spot. It was 800 square feet, would have comfortably fit 2 teachers. And then the day before we signed the lease, the man had other plans come up and someone wanted to rent 2 of the stalls. And understandably, it's a better business deal for him. So that fell through. Yeah.
But that hasn't, you're still looking at doing things.
It took me a couple months to want to keep looking, especially going into the holidays. I just kind of chilled for a little bit. But probably about January, early February, I kind of hit a wall where I was like, okay, this space does not fit. And either something's got to give. So I started looking again. So
yeah. So your classes, so this is a music store outside your thing, and then they rent the rooms out to teachers like you. So what classes of 6, I'm assuming you're able to utilize after hours in the music store. Is that what you do?
Yes, I can use the piano showroom, but it's not till like 5 or 6 at night, which is unfortunate because that kind of kills after school prime time from like 3 to 5. So
yeah. Don't you love prime time? I reckon you can sell those slots, 20 times over. So
I never have them free. Yeah.
No. I remember when you first graduated from Group Piano University, you pretty much got going straight away. How did you do that? Like, did you have some students on a waiting list ready to go, or did you have some students that had only just started relatively recently and you put them all in a group together? Like, how did you do that so quickly?
I had a mom reach out to me want to start her daughter, and I just said, hey, would she be interested in taking a group lesson? And she was like, sure. And so she actually started with 4 of her friends. They're still going together. They're in book Junior Keys 2 now.
Great.
So they're doing pretty well.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So that mom bought 4 others. How great is that?
They all go to school together. They're in the same class, so they all just come together, and it works
Uh-huh.
great.
Uh-huh.
So
And you've been really good on social media as well, weren't you? You weren't shy about doing social.
not too much. I'd rather post the kids doing cute little things, but
Yeah, which is actually part of the social media strategy,
mhm,
right? Yeah,
yeah.
that's terrific. And so have you translated any of your groups over into, sorry, any of your privates into groups, or you just let the privates just go, natural attrition, and replace them with groups as they decide something else is in their future?
Some of them I have, if I've sensed a little boredom or just lack of practice, I'm like, can we try it? Some of the moms are hesitant. Some of them try it. Some of them go back. Some of them stay. It just depends.
Hmm.
My high schoolers, I pretty much kept private, though I didn't want to do
Yeah.
that to them. So
No, they're kind of used to that scene. So tell me, what have you know? Have you actually noticed? You've only really been, if you're about halfway through book two, about 30 weeks into the curriculum with that group that you started, first group. Have you noticed any difference between the kids that learn in group compared to like your traditional private students that would learn in private? Has there been any musically, any differences that any differences you've noticed?
not a ton just because of the group setting. Specifically with like the backing tracks and stuff, though. When I did a recital back in the fall, I was nervous when I pulled the backing tracks that they wouldn't be able to like keep the tempo and stuff and that they wouldn't stay. But they stayed right with me, and it was kind of funny because even if I just slowed down at the end to retard, they just did it. So I thought that was super cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that is. And orally or any of their musical skills, have you noticed? Well, I guess that's musical skills.
I mean, they sing a lot better, especially into book two. Most of them, when we do I play something on the piano, they can sing it back without really much help from me. And then they try to noodle it on the piano, and it just goes much faster than me sitting here going, "Can you fix it?" So,
Yeah, exactly. So let's cycle back to a year ago. What opportunity or goal did you have for your future? Because you really, at the beginning of your career, you did the 50 private students and thought, I want a life. I need to find a way of freeing up more time, which you actually have already, haven't you?
yeah.
Tell us about that.
I'm down to like 25 to 30 hours a week. And between that and having most of my admin automated, I probably don't spend more than an hour or two on admin. So it gives me a lot of free time to do things.
So what were you
Um,
doing before?
I was probably close to 40. And especially when I was like doing hand billing and stuff, it was a lot. So
So a combination of a few things together has made a difference. So you've got big plans for the future. So obviously, did you have those plans for the future back then when you started Group Young University, or has it just sort of gradually come into your mind?
I kind of wanted a multi-teacher eventually, but I didn't have the idea of like doing it with group scale. So
So you were going to have a music school with someone, one or two other, or a few other people working with you for
yeah,
you. Yeah.
the idea was still to get a bigger space just because it's tight. Even for just private lessons, it's a little on the small side. So
If I'm right, you might prefer, you like the business side kind of as much. You love the teaching, but you're also liking the business side as well.
yeah, so down the road, I would definitely like to have like 2 or 3 teachers, maybe one to do like the early childhood because I don't really want to do the early childhood. It's not my calling. And
Yet.
then I'd rather be the person to go like do the networking, go out and bring in students,
Yeah.
and leave the teaching to a capable team. So
Yeah.
some of the
Fantastic.
teaching.
And you're well done. You're really well down the road. You've got some premises I think you're going to look at in the next week or so. Is that right?
Yeah, I have 3 I'm looking at. So we'll see how that goes.
Ah, watch this space. So were there any kind of obstacles that you had to come in your mind overcome? Like, was there any mindset things where you're just like all in, could see this is right, could see the pathway forward and went, yes, that's me. Or you're thinking, oh, I don't know whether I can do this. Or were there any of those sort of obstacles when you were thinking about
Not
doing?
so much the groups, but I felt like in the conservatory there was a lot of push for private lessons, so I felt like there was a bit of a fight to like get people, not even just a fight, you were just trying to convince people that group lessons aren't, worse or whatever, when there's literally 50 other teachers here who all do private lessons. And just so trying to show the value of group is definitely tricky. So
Yeah. But you've given that in a year, you've built 30. It sounds like you've kind of overcome that challenge to a large extent.
yeah, I think if I want, again, the space, I just have to expand the space
Yeah.
if I want to keep it going. So
Yeah. You need the bigger space so that they feel that they've got more space. So when you came into Group Piano University, you guys kind of lapped it all up. You do all of the assignments and you just get them in, and they were like pretty much perfect straight away. So how did you get into that? Like you just got into action and just did it. Was there any structure you put around yourself to do that?
honestly, it probably helped that I wasn't very far out of college. My brain was still used to coming home and needing to have something to do, some sort of assignment. I still do that. I just gave it an hour time slot every week where I worked on them, and it was pretty good. So,
Terrific. So I want to get to the success because you're only, as we said, about 30 weeks into this, 30 lessons. So not quite a year into this journey. I think you would have started your first classes in June,
yeah, June or
September,
July last year.
July, yes. And we're now in April. So it's
Yeah.
9 months, really,
hmm
which is amazing. So there's just been so many successes, I really feel, for you. And what has these successes opened up for you and made possible for you?
Having like personally or just business.
Yeah, no, personally.
Having time in the evenings, I don't have to teach till 8 or 9 at night. I can go home or go play volleyball with my friends. And I play on a league in the evenings, and I have time to be there in the evenings. It's a lot of fun. So
That's fantastic. And what about professionally? Do you feel this is a compromise? Like a lot of teachers think that, I don't want to do groups because I can't see how it works. I can't see how you can do 5 kids all at the same time because I've got to spread myself between everybody. And in order to make everybody learn in a private lesson, I've got to spend time individually with them and that kind of thing. So they see it. Many feel that it has to be they just can't imagine it. They think it has to be a compromise.
I think for me it's better because I actually have ADHD. So you've said groups are better for ADHD students. I think groups are better for an ADHD teacher. Because constantly switching between things for me also keeps me engaged and keeps it easier for me. So for me it's better. If I'm sitting in a private lesson, it's really easy to zone out.
Yeah.
And be like they're playing the same thing again. But like moving around and doing stuff is definitely the teaching style I prefer. So
Yeah, I can't wait for you to have them next year. Can't wait to talk to you in a year's time because, like another year's time is going to be there's other layers that you're going to be putting on your teaching, which is going to be really great.
I feel like the first time through has just been like hanging on the lesson plan, but then like the second time you're like, all right, what can I fix? What can I do better? Did I skip things? What did I skip?
Yeah. What did I skip the first time just to sort of get through it? All right, let's go through the next time and let's add that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think there's also when there's children with the oral training and things like that. I just remember the first time, even now I get a kick out of that. You're doing the oral training and the first time they sing it back completely by ear. It's like, oh my goodness. And they're only a few weeks in, right?
Yeah. Like 4 or 5, and they're usually fine.
Yeah. And they've got that already. It's like, wow. It's amazing. Yeah. And then those little musical gifts that keep on delivering down the track too. Yeah, which are kind of fun. So I can't wait for you to experience those. And so what would you say to somebody who is, well, you're, 20 something, 30 something, and it's got their whole career ahead of them. If they're sort of on the line thinking, oh, should I do this? Should I not do this? Group Piano University, what do you think?
I'd say go for it. I mean, you don't have anything to lose if you're pretty young, You've got a lot of time to try different things and try different things. Try lots of things. try all the things. It works.
Yeah.
I probably tried 4 or 5 different curriculums before I went with group piano. I tried to take like other one-on-one curriculums and like mold them into a group, and it didn't work so well.
What did you find with the challenges with that?
Group piano university is more where you're doing like everybody's doing the same thing at one time. And then making my own plan, it was like a multi-level, and I was trying to keep everyone where they were at and doing their own thing. That was too much to do. That was hard to do. I would
It's like spinning plates. You know those like plates, and they put them on a stand and they spin them. You got to spin this one, and then you got to run over and spin that one. Keep them all running. That's like stressful.
Yeah, that was too much. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, is there anything that you would like to tell anybody that is like, I don't know, is there anything, that you'd like to tell them about the course, about what to expect that you were surprised about, or like the homework, because there's quite a lot of homework?
The homework was great. The hardest part was, when we were recording all the singing stuff, having the equipment or trying to figure out how to prop stuff up somewhere. So maybe, invest in some decent camera equipment or just like phone stands and things.
Yeah. They're useful anyway, right?
Yeah, I was propping things up on like music stands and stuff. So
Yeah. But down the track, they're useful so that you can actually record the kids playing and things like that. So they're worthwhile, and they're not very expensive. So they're a worthwhile investment. Is that the hardest bit?
honestly, yeah, I mean, the technical side was harder than the actual music side. So
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experience less than a year into your start. I know you're going to be I'm just like, watch this space. I can't wait to see you launch your own studio in your own commercial premises and bring on your first teacher who's going to be working with you. It's so exciting. And I love that you've freed up your time already and that you're thinking about, no, you know what, I'm going to actually pull in. At the moment, I can understand I was really in my 20s and not having been a mom. I would have like, oh no, all the children, no. After you're a mom, you might change your mind and you might want to do it or you may not want to do that. But it's quite a daunting thing. And so I can understand you wanting to get someone to do that for you. But and then you're choosing the business side, you're choosing the marketing side to do, because that is actually a lifeblood of your business and your growth and particularly if you're going to grow a music school. So well done you. I love the mindset. I love that you're stepping into it all. And of course you just met Paul at MTNA, so you're always investing in your own professional development.
mm-hmm. MTNA was great. Met all kinds of people. So
yeah, and I saw this morning on socials that you actually got a scholarship to do that.
Yeah, it's $5,000. So
wow,
that will be very helpful.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. How lovely that you got to do that, and that's going to make a big difference to you going forward, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in quite a small area.
Yeah, but they're usually tight knit too, so it works pretty well. So
yeah.
I think those smaller areas where you're building relationship with all these different people, especially like you're well known, it's just fantastic because everyone's going to be going, oh, you got to go to Caelyn for piano lessons. So it's great. Good on you.
Yeah, that you're in a community of like 30,000 and you've actually put on 30 new students.
it is funny because my friends and I, like, we joke, like, every time we go somewhere, I can't go anywhere without seeing people I know. Like, I can't even go to Walmart without running into you. And then they look at you so weird because they're not used to seeing you out in the wild. They're like, you can leave your room?
I used to have a school of 800 students. So I was the same. I was in a city, but in the local area, same thing. Go to the mall, and there was just like, you couldn't go there without being recognised. There's Miss Gillian.
Yeah.
There's Miss Gillian. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing your story with us today.
Thank
I'm
you.
sure you're an inspiration for so many music teachers, piano teachers out there. Thank you. Thanks, Caelyn.
What a great interview, Gillian. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, it was such a lovely interview, and just seeing so young and so inspiring. Like, she's got a whole career ahead of her, so it's fantastic, so exciting. And if you'd like to delve deeper into groups and what's possible for you, we have a 3-part series coming up. It's free. It's called Group Piano Breakthrough. You can register now. Parts 1 and 2 are pre-recorded, and part 1 is released on the 14th of April. And we finish with part 3, which is a live webinar and Q&A session, so you can get to ask all of your questions on the 21st, Tuesday, the 21st of April. There's a link below, or it's in the show notes. So please make sure you register. I'd love to see you there. So if you like today's episode, make sure you click the like and subscribe button, because it helps the platform know that you'd like to see more of these shows. Are you on our newsletter list? Well, make sure you join our list, and you'll receive every episode and every blog post that we produce straight into your inbox. The link is on our homepage at pianoteachingsuccess.com, or you can find it in the show notes.
Thanks for joining us today. See you later.
Bye.